than allopathy? How can one become a homeopathy doctor? If you have any questions like that, you can park in your questions. Hi, Dr. Kajal.
Hi Swati, good evening.
Yeah, yeah, we're back again. I can hear you loud and clear. Your connectivity is fine now?
Yes, yes, all good.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. It's okay. That happens a lot of times. Happens with me as well. Okay, so
Sorry.
Dr. Kajal, thanks for joining us today in our session, Talk with the Pro. And like I said, I've already given your introduction twice because you were trying to connect back. So I leave it up to
Right,
you now. The team wants to hear from you. How have you carried on with your journey?
right. Okay. So I've done my graduation, I've done my BSMS, which comprises of 5.5 years, and after that I've done my post-graduation, which is of 3 years. The journey for post-graduation was very exciting. It was, I would say, a huge roller coaster ride because it involved a lot of hard work, a lot of travel, a lot of obstacles, and overcoming each of it at every given point of time was a big challenge to tackle each problem in a very different way. And just when I was about to give my final exam and my final vivas, I landed up in a medical emergency. I had an acute appendicitis, which is a surgical emergency, and my exams were due on my head. So it was very difficult, but I would say I still enjoyed the entire process, and I'm glad that I could finish it in one go, which is very difficult because extending your time in medical school is equally draining. So why
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
finish it at one time?
Yeah. So what kind of homeopathic treatments, Dr. Kajal, are you into? What kind of treatments do you do?
So I offer treatment for any and every kind of diseases, right from ranging from cold, cough, fever to PCOS, PCOD, acidity, respiratory disorders, allergies. But nowadays I have formed my niche into more of women health, wherein I want to offer treatment to women ranging right from infertility to pregnancy care, pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, and basically dealing with the mental health of women as well, because nowadays as we see that we are all turning into nuclear families. So women, I have found that they are not very up to date with respect to pregnancy and all. There's a lot of anxiety, there are a lot of myths and all those things related. So I want to
Right.
I'm more interested in helping these group of women to make them aware, to help them to conceive naturally instead of going for IUI and IVF treatment, and they can conceive naturally with homeopathy. They can even avoid
Oh,
surgeries and C-sections with a homeopathic medicine.
wow, wonderful. So what you're saying is that, and there's a little bit of lag in the sound, probably because of the connectivity. So what you're saying is you actually have natural pregnancy and avoid C-section, etc., or surgeries, etc., if you go through a homeopathy treatment, is what you're trying to say?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I
Wow.
have had patients who were not getting labor and they were due, and they were asked to get admitted to the hospital, and they were given
Okay.
24 hours that if they don't get labor, the doctor will induce labor or they will have to land up in C-section. And the
Okay.
patient, she was anyways my previous patient, and she called me up that, madam, I don't want to go for C-section. So if you have some homeopathic medicines which can help me to, induce labor, I'll be really great.
Oh,
So
wow.
I offered her some medicine, and within 6 to 8 hours, she developed very good contractions and she delivered the baby normally. A normal, healthy
Wow.
baby was delivered with homeopathy. So that is the power of homeopathy. Homeopathy is not just for cold, cough, fever. It has way more to do than that.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's really insightful, and that's something I think it's new for me as well. I mean, generally we feel that बुखार हो गया, खांसी हो गया, छींक आ गई तो चले जाओ होम्योपैथी डॉक्टर के पास, या maybe skin allergies हो गए तो चले जाओ. But I think this is really wonderful. This is something is insightful for me as well. And I will definitely recommend all my friends who are going through pregnancy or delivery pain, problems to you, because definitely if it
Right.
eases out the pain, and if definitely it gets them into a natural delivery mode through homeopathic medicines, which does not have side effects also, right? I'm sure homeopathy does
Right.
not have too many side effects as well. So yeah, it's
Right.
definitely nice to know that. What about a lot of people, Dr. Kajal? I think we'll quickly say a hi to the people who just joined in. Hi, Hemal. Yeah, okay. Hi, Raman. Thanks for joining in. Okay. So there's also a lot of people who say that, homeopathy being slow, the treatment takes a longer time, and that's the reason why people quickly move to allopathy. Like impatient people like me, I would say, जिसके पास patience नहीं है. So how do you like, what do you suggest to those kind of people?
Okay, so firstly, the statement itself that homeopathy is slow, I do not accept this because reason being I have myself tried and tested this that
Okay.
homeopathy is the fastest provided the
Oh,
doctor who is treating is having a sound knowledge about it. So I have
yeah.
seen very good results even in just few doses, even in cases of fever. So, like a patient had 103, 104 fever, and I did not allow the patient to take allopathic medicine, and just with homeopathy, within 2, 3 doses, his temperature got down. So,
Wow.
and another reason why people concluded that homeopathy is slow because usually people have a mindset to go for homeopathy only when they have some long-term disease or a chronic disease. So that
Right.
is something a disease that they have since a long time, for many number of years or months, we are suffering from that. So now these are not some black magic that we are doing, right? It is science, it is a
Absolutely.
process. So
Right.
when disease is a process, so cure is also a process of undoing it. So if a disease has progressed for say 3 years, 5 years, so curing will also take some amount of time. It will not happen instantly. Like
Absolutely.
you cannot expect in 15 days your arthritis should
Correct.
disappear. So
Correct.
I think that is the reason why people have that wrong notion that homeopathy is slow because they usually come for chronic complaints. And another reason is that they visit a homeopathic doctor at the end. So it's like they
Okay.
have already taken a lot of medicines. The case is already messed up. So and they
Mhm.
are already dependent on a lot of medicines. So when we give medicines, we have to first counteract the side effects of all the other allopathic medicines and then start with the actual homeopathic treatment.
Oh, okay.
So these are the reasons why it takes time.
Okay.
So it's
So
not that
basically,
actually
you're
homeopathy is slow,
asking.
but if you approach a homeopathic doctor at the right time, you'll get very good, instant, fast results.
Wow, that's very wonderful to know as well. That's a myth. I think this is really enlightening, Dr. Kajal, because it's a myth a lot of people have that, I mean, I didn't say that myself. I heard it from a lot of people that it's very slow. But yeah, I think you rightly put it that, अगर आप homeopathy doctor के पास last में आओगे, पूरी दुनिया जहान घूमने के बाद, you've taken so many allopathic medicines, gone to 10 different doctors, and used to a particular pattern of medicine. I think homeopathy doctor क्या करेगा? He or she will first undo the treatment that you have had and then start with your treatment. So I think a better advice for everyone would be if you have something you really want to go for a proper treatment without any side effects, go to a homeopathy doctor and you will get the right treatment at the right time. There is one, I think Shubha wanted to ask a question. I'll just quickly read that. She says, how did you get into homeopathic? Generally, people go for allopathic doctor. How did you come into homeopathy, ma'am? Is what she's asking. Very
Right.
interesting.
So, yeah. So, while I was filling my form after appearing for the NEET exams, of course, the first option was MBBS. I will not deny that. But also coming to a fact that in India, the education system is more about reservations and categories and all that. So, honestly, I did not get admission in MBBS, yet I wanted to be a doctor. And my second option was homeopathy. I did not want to go for dentistry or physiotherapy. So, that was a personal choice. But once I got into this, I was really glad that I didn't do MBBS. So it was like a blessing in disguise for me.
But is it like, do you really get some, you hear some things from people when they say that, why homeopathy, why not regular medicine or something of that sort? And how do you combat that? I'm sure you get a lot of such, advices or such comments. How do you combat that?
Okay, so honestly speaking, Swati, when I entered in homeopathy, like 7, 8 years ago, that time I had heard a few of such comments from people, that why did you choose BSMS? You should have, instead taken a drop and opted another year and gone for MBBS. But today, if you speak about the current scenario, I would say now people don't say that. They don't pass such remarks or comments because they have started realizing that there are a lot of side effects, a lot of issues with the modern
Yeah.
line of treatment that is being done. So in fact they themselves are switching on to other modes of treatment like homeopathy because they know that it is natural, it is effective, it has no side effects, and firstly we have all the medicines which are proved. They are already proved in human beings, so we know what are the effects that they have.
Hmm.
So I think that is the biggest plus point in homeopathy.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I think there was a question which again Sumit asked, Sumit Pathak, what's the best treatment in seizure of homeopathy? In seizure of homeopathy, I'm
Oh,
not sure.
okay, so seizures and convulsions, जिसे आम भाषा में मिर्गी कहा जाता है, it has
Okay.
very good scope in homeopathy, I would say. I have made a video on that, so you can just go to my channel and look at that video. Homeopathy has very good scope in reducing the number of attacks, the intensity of attacks, and also of course, I need to know the cause of it, whether it has any organic cause, like is there any brain lesion or a brain
Mhm.
tumor which is creating it, or is it just a functional cause? So, of course, the treatment will also differ depending on that. But in general, homeopathy has very good results in seizures, I would say.
Okay. Great, wonderful. And for Sumit, I hope you got your answer. And like what Dr. Kajal suggested, you can also go and check out her video that she's made on this particular topic. Also, I think Sakshi has a question. How did you cope up with failures, ma'am, is what she's saying. I'm sure there were ups and downs, in any industry, in any field there are. How did you cope up with failures?
Right. Right. So the only mantra that helped was to keep going no matter what. Like I would give you a very simple example. I got married in 2018, and before that I had a
Mhm.
very settled practice at Malad. I was residing at Malad before that, and I had 4 clinics and a good flourishing practice. And after getting married, I had to relocate at Vashi, which was absolutely a new location, new family, and there were a lot of challenges. And again, starting your practice from zero, so initially I did feel like a failure, like, from having flourishing practice, from having patients waiting for you to coming down to ground level again, zero, and again starting everything. But of course, the mantra was the same, that you have to keep going. It will happen one day. And I think now it's been 2 years that I'm practicing in Vashi, and now I can say that yes, I have settled here equally.
Okay, that's wonderful, and that's a very good mantra to keep going. No matter what, consistency is the key. Just keep doing your good job. If
Yes,
you
yes.
believe in what you're doing, I'm sure that you'll be successful in that. Also, Dr. Kajal, I remember you telling me that when we met, you said that you also do online sessions. You also help people online. So, and particularly during the pandemic, I think that was a wonderful move that you've taken. To kind of help people online as well. Someone cannot come and visit you. How can you talk a little bit more about that? How do you help people? How can you reach out and stuff?
Sure, sure. So, as it is always said that, necessity is the mother of all invention. So, I
Yeah.
never intended to do this online thing ever. But of course, 2020 was a year when a lot of us have done a lot of things that we never planned at. So,
Absolutely.
this was, yes, because it was all circumstantial. This was not really
Mhm.
planned. So, in 2020, when there was lockdown, when a lot of people I saw they needed help, they wanted to approach doctors, but they had a lot of fear to visit doctor. Maybe because of the pandemic, because of the fear, what will the doctor say? Will they just send us for a COVID test and whatnot? So
Mhm.
I decided that was the time actually when I started my Instagram channel, when I started posting videos and the other posts to make people aware. I was also giving free advice, whether on Instagram, WhatsApp, or anything, where they have certain myths,
Right.
certain doubts, wherein I could help them. Especially, I came across a lot of pregnant women who were very
Mhm.
hesitant to visit their doctors, even when they had
Mhm.
their appointments fixed for, maybe a sonography or a scan. So, making them understand things and making them understand that yes, it is safe, your doctor and your hospital is taking equal precautions for you, and how important it is for you to visit. So, all these things were done through Instagram, WhatsApp, and then a lot of people also requested if I could give them online consultation because they were a little hesitant to visit the clinic and all. So that's how I started with online consultation, which I am still continuing. And of course, in clinic is also going on. So whatever the patient is comfortable with, I do both the things. For online consultation, not only in India, I get even patients from abroad and pan India also, like right from Jammu and Kashmir,
Wow.
Kerala, Chennai, everywhere. I have a lot of patients everywhere now.
Wonderful. That's great. And rightly said, necessity is the mother of all invention. I think in 2020 we kind of invented too many new things which none of us really were
Right.
aware of. And I think even medicine, or rather homeopathic treatment, has also gone door to door without even entering the door, or rather without anyone coming out of the door. So I think that's a wonderful thing that you've done, Dr. Kajal, and I really salute you. The kind of gesture you've shown, helping pregnant women who are apprehensive about stepping out, going to their doctor. I think doctors, you really help them a lot. I think it's very wonderful gesture, you've shown, Dr. Kajal.
Thank
And
you.
there's one
Thank
more
you.
question. I'm just looking at, I'm sorry, I'm kind of looking at those questions because a lot of questions which are coming in for you. I'll just kind of screen some of the questions so that, we can pick up some of them. Uh, so there was a question regarding neurofibrosis, if that can also be
Mm-hmm.
cured through, yeah,
So curing neurofibromatosis is
neurofibromatosis treatment in homeopathy. This disease also occurred due to mutation. Yeah, I think I've never heard of that disease, but can that also be done? Is what Sumit Pathak asked.
okay. So hi Sumit, firstly thank you for posting the question. And with respect to the disease of neurofibromatosis, it has a very, very limited scope, honestly speaking. And I don't think anybody or any pathy can cure the disease per se. There are a lot of limitations of the disease. So if you want to know more about it, you can connect me in person. We'll discuss there.
Yeah, I think Sumit, you can connect with Dr. Kajal in person, and she will be able to help you on that. So, in particular, and a lot of such questions coming up. So, in particular, if you could just generalize what kind of treatments can be done with homeopathy, so that people get an idea that this kind of disease can be cured with homeopathy, and what stage. I think that will give a little bit clarity to people. If, I think that would be really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Homeopathy has scope in all diseases which can be otherwise cured in with allopathy, except the emergency cases. In case of any medical emergency, of course, you have to visit a hospital and you have to take all the necessary treatment. But I'm talking about those kind of diseases which we visit a doctor on OPD basis. So those can be very well managed with homeopathy. Of course,
Okay.
when a patient approaches us, we firstly classify whether the disease is surgical disease or a medical disease, which means whether the patient needs surgery or immediate attention, or the disease can be managed with homeopathy. So that is the initial bifurcation that we do, and all the doctors do. It's not just us; even the allopathic doctors do that. And if we talk about which diseases have excellent scope, if you ask me in homeopathy, so those are allergies, pregnant women, getting various cravings, various mood swings, all the mental diseases, anxiety, depression, bipolar disorders, etc., etc. In children, it is very good. Pediatric practice runs very well with homeopathy.
Yeah.
In children also, there are allergies, skin issues. Of late, I've got a lot of children who suffer from constipation. They are having worms. So all those also have very good effect with homeopathy.
ADHD also, I
PCOS,
think ADHD,
PCOD.
or yeah, ADHD,
Yes, yes,
etc. also
even
can be done here.
ADHD.
Or any kind of depression can
Yes,
also be done.
right, right, right. Absolutely, absolutely.
Wonderful. And diabetes, things like diabetes or chronic lifestyle diseases like BP, diabetes, etc. I'm sure those also can be treated through homeopathy.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. They can also be managed with homeopathy. Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks a lot, Dr. Kajal, for that insight. I think that really classifies and clarifies for us what kind of treatments can be done through homeopathy, and how and at what stage of that they can attend to a homeopathic doctor. Anything else specific, Dr. Kajal, that you would like to mention, pertaining to homeopathy? What are the myths that people have, and how can you kind of overcome those myths? Anything that you specifically want to talk about?
I think the first myth we have already cleared about homeopathy being slow.
Think so, yeah.
Another thing that I want to clarify with people is a lot of them think that the same white pills are given to everybody because our medicines are not as colorful as the allopathic ones. So
Right.
I would like to clarify that thing. So pills are actually unmedicated. उसके ऊपर जो हम दवा डालते हैं that is the actual medicine and that medicine is different for different people. Okay,
Right.
so it is not that everybody gets the same white pill. Yes, of course they do get, but the medicine that is sprinkled on that is different for everybody. And a lot of people say that, homeopathy में same ही दवा मिलता है because of getting the same white cells. So, homeopathy in fact offers a very individualistic approach. It offers you a customized treatment wherein, we talk to the person in depth, in detail, wherein our first consultation ranges anywhere from 60 to say 90 minutes, where we try to find out what is the cause of disease, like why is the person suffering from their disease? Is there a mental cause associated? Is it a physical cause or what? So we try to work on the cause to find out the cause, and accordingly our treatment is given. Like for example, if a person comes for PCOS, so PCOS as we know is multifactorial in origin, which means that
Right.
it has a lot of causes. So we try to find out what is the cause in this patient for her to suffer from PCOS or PCOD, and why is that causing an obstacle for her to conceive. So, in this process of 1 hour consultation, there are a lot of details that are taken from the patient, not just with respect to the disease, but even their personal history, their food habits, their mood, their craving, their aversion, their mental state, how they cope up with stress, and all those things. So, it's quite an in-depth, even psychology that is taken into consideration, which I don't think is taken in other pathies. So I think that
Right.
is also very important because after I speak 30, 60 minutes or 90 minutes with the patient, lot of patients, later on they just tell us, they message us that बस आपसे बात करके अच्छा लगा. So that ventilation of your thoughts, कि मतलब, in Hindi also we say कि once we share हमें हल्का लगता है.
अच्छा
So
लगता
once
है,
they have
right.
shared all those things and they have given their burden to somebody else that okay, now you manage these things, you manage my disease. So once they have done that, I think already 50% they are relieved of their complaints. And
Absolutely.
also meanwhile, we tell them how they need to cope up with their issues in life, how they can cope up mentally with things. So that also helps a lot. So all these are like part and parcel of homeopathy. It's not
Homeopathy.
just giving them pills. Homeopathy
Yeah,
is a very
absolutely.
holistic approach.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think that's why you call yourself a counselor as well, because that comes as a part
Yes.
of your job. You're kind of 90 minutes
Yes.
or 2 hours of just counseling, and rightly put by you. I completely agree with you. I think these days people need to be heard. I think that's very, very important. So अगर कोई मिल जाता है सुनने
Right.
वाला, जो हम जिसके पास हम जाके अपनी problems vent out करते हैं, I think half the problems are solved there only. So that's the reason why, it's a
Right.
wonderful job that you're doing, Dr. Kajal. And I quickly say a hi to
Thank
a lot of
you.
people who joined in and waved us. Prerna, hi Prerna, thanks for joining in. Hi Rachna. Hi Nitesh. Hi Mohammed Anas. Thanks for joining in. And if you have any questions pertaining to Dr. Kajal on her homeopathy treatments, I think we're having a very nice, candid discussion with her. And she's throwing a lot of light on the good things about homeopathy and what are the myths people have. If anyone has any questions, please throw in there. Dr. Kajal, also I'd like to ask you, when you entered into your medical profession and when these are the myths that people generally have and they ask you and things like that right now. But in your family or in in your relatives and acquaintances, did they also have any such apprehensions or did they also throw some challenges like that with you, or it was a smooth sail for you in your journey? And how did you kind of manage that?
I think when it comes to relatives and well-wishers, I think it was a smooth road for me. There wasn't
Okay.
much struggle convincing them because I think nowadays they are themselves aware of, the side
Yeah.
effects and the other issues that they are facing. So they themselves tell us that, we want to stop allopathy and we want to opt for homeopathy. It's the other way around. Now I don't have to struggle convincing them about the good things about homeopathy, that how that is more beneficial to them. So yeah, it was actually a cakewalk for me.
Wonderful. Yeah, and it's important to have a good family support, your support system being strong. I
Absolutely.
think you can definitely pursue your career in that path as well. Great. So, Doctor, also, if someone's planning to, and we do have a lot of children, students also who watch these channels, the Insta Live series. So, anything that you want to suggest to the new students or new children who are, I mean, not new children, but students who want to pursue homeopathy as a career, what is the couple of tips or, things that you would want to suggest to them?
Firstly, I would like to suggest them that never feel inferior. Do all your subjects well when you are in your undergraduate, and once you have done them, I think you are equally competent with any MBBS doctor or any doctor. So people might think that this degree is a little lower than MBBS, but I think they should not feel that because if they have a good knowledge, they should be confident enough to face any case that is presented to them. So your knowledge would eventually matter, your skills would eventually matter, and
Right.
yes, homeopathy has amazing scope, so you should not have a second thought in opting that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think not only in India, abroad as well, in countries, European countries as well, homeopathy has a lot of good scope across the world because people have realized over time that, it is, definitely a treatment which is more sustainable and much more better treatment without any aftermath or without any after effects. And people are moving away from allopathy and going to homeopathy for smallest of issues to major issues or illnesses as well. So I think, yeah, rightly put. You're no less of a doctor. You don't have to consider yourself less of a doctor if you go into homeopathy. A lot of students definitely, when they're confused, they come to me for student counseling, etc. They have the liking for homeopathy, but they kind of have this, thought in their mind, ki dunya kya bolegi, why are you, why
Right,
have you
right.
taken up homeopathy? I think that's something which is very important to understand, and Dr. Kajal is a live example in front of her. She's doing her practice very, very efficiently, and she's successful over the last 3 4 years that she's been practicing. I think as a role model for us any which way. Great. So,
Right.
Doctor, I think that brings us to the end of our session today. You have really, really given us a lot of insights about homeopathy and what kind of treatments can be done, what kind of benefits homeopathy has over allopathy. As a closing statement, anything that you would want to talk to our, viewers, anything that you would want to say as a closing statement?
I would just like to say one thing that don't feel that homeopathy is inferior. Just like you approach any allopathic doctor or allopathic medicine first, if you approach homeopathy first, I think you would get more prompt results and more instant results, which would be equally fast as allopathy, and that also without any side effects. That would be the last thing that I would like to say.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Kajal Agrawal, for joining us. I think it was really, really a very power-packed, insightful, informative session. For everyone who's watching us, I'm going to put this video on the IGTV, so you can go ahead and watch the entire video. And for any homeopathic treatments, you can definitely approach Dr. Kajal because she's one of her kinds. She's definitely helped a lot of people I know, and I'm also going to approach to her because I have, I think I realized the fact that homeopathy definitely works much better than allopathy. We
Right.
pop in the over-the-counter medicines like this, Disprin, Crocin, Dolo, etc. हम ऐसे ही खा लेते हैं. But I think if we have to
Right.
really get to the root cause of a problem and eradicate the problem from the root cause, I think homeopathy definitely serves wonders in that. So my humble request for everyone who's watching this is move towards homeopathy. It'll definitely make your life sorted. And thank you very
Thank
much,
you so
Dr.
much,
Kajal, for
Swati.
joining in
Thank you
again.
for
Thank you.
having
It was
me.
a pleasure having you. Thank you.
Thank you. Same
All right.
here.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye. Take care. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm back again.